Yo, YouTube, I guess there's something going on with CoryxKenshin. This video is by NizzyHypeTalks. Let's get into it.
Hello everyone, welcome to the video. My name is Angelo, but most of you know me by NizzyHypeTalks or Mav. I've seen some alarming evidence these past few weeks, and I'm speaking in support of the victims who have recently come forward about some concerning behavior regarding a previous friend of mine, who a lot of you may know as CoryxKenshin. Cory and I met in 2014 and soon after became best friends for years until I cut ties with him in 2023. In March of 2023, I released a video on my channel explaining a few of the reasons why he and I were no longer associating or going to be doing collaborations anymore, as I thought I was done creating videos for a few—
Bro, that whole situation already got handled though. Like, Cory didn't even need to speak up about the situation. His fan base did the work. And here's the thing, bro. She's trying to get him canceled for being a bad boyfriend 10 years ago. He's a completely different person, bro. What?
Few years, but
and the crazy thing is she has a fiance. You have a whole fiance, but you're still fixated on Cory. That don't even make sense.
Wanted to return to the NizzyHypeTalks channel. The video was met with a lot of love and appreciation for my contributions to our numerous collaborations throughout the years, as well as listening to my story and experience being best friends and business collaborator with one of the biggest creators on the YouTube platform. The response, however positive, brought a wave of harassment and toxic behavior to my comments, even going so far as to target my wife's social media accounts and the accounts of anyone looking to speak out in support of me simply expressing my truth. My video wasn't intended to badmouth or run a smear campaign against Cory, and in fact—
That's quite literally what you did though. You made a whole video blasting him as to why you're not his friend. That's literally a smear campaign. What?
I mentioned how I believed he was still a good person at the time. In the video from 2023, I mentioned details such as how—
what? If he's still a good person, why would you make a video trying to paint him not to be a good person? That's literally— that just sounds like a contradiction, does it not?
I never cared about what he gained from his success, and I just wanted to enjoy time with the person I connected with before his channel truly blew up. I also expressed frustrations at the time and vented to a friend of mine who Cory had a previous fling with about how Cory wasn't interested in speaking publicly about people harassing his close friends and family during his long content breaks. This friend of mine at the time would post about Cory on a gossip website while mentioning me by name, which I felt I needed to come clean to Cory about. He forgave me for it. I just wanted to be free from the public thinking we were still—
you were talking about your mans to somebody else behind his back, and then they broke your trust and blasted that shit on the internet. Who's really the bad friend? Like, everything that he's saying right now, he's cooking himself.
Close and
I hope
hounding
this shit
me,
is not a 40-minute nothing burger, bro.
even up until that point, about where Cory was. While there were positive comments,
Literally.
I dealt with numerous forms of harassment. Harassment that included insults, threats against my safety, and even claiming that I was a white man trying to weaponize sympathy against a black man, which, if you knew me, you would know that I'm an ethnically ambiguous person of color. In my experience, this was an attempt to try and invalidate my identity, trauma, and personal experience as an individual who isn't afraid to be vulnerable and allow my—
Is he reading a script? Oh my god, this shit is so like polished and like I don't know, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and say that everything he's saying is a bunch of bullshit, but if you need to sit here and like write out and script every single word that you're trying to say so that you can frame a narrative, I just see it as being inauthentic. I'm just gonna be real. You're reading a script, you're trying to frame everything in a certain way. Why don't you just say what's on your mind, bro?
Emotions to come through regardless of the public perception. The same harassment I dealt with in the 2023 video is the same harassment I spent years dealing with prior, trying to make a business and name for myself, all while dealing with personal issues and being bombarded by comments harassing me about when Cory is going to return from one of his many lengthy breaks from YouTube.
Bro, that's just like, that's what happens when you're his friend. You appeared in his videos. He's got a very diehard fan base. How do you think Cory feels when he's the person that's just trying to live his life and he gets stopped at the zoo and people are asking him, yo, Cory, and they got the camera all up in his face, .5, yo, Cory, when do you plan on coming back to YouTube? Meanwhile, he was just planning to like enjoy his day at the zoo. How you think he feels?
Part of my issues with Cory that were communicated and shut down by him were when he would step away from YouTube without updating his obsessed audience. I'd then reach out to ask him if he could post on social media saying he's okay and to leave his friends and family alone, which would always conclude with him saying that's just how he is.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I never heard of this guy a day in my life. I'm not gonna say I'm a super big CoryxKenshin fan. I've watched a few of his videos, right? I don't know who this is. Why don't you just make a video when people are bombarding you and just say, leave me the fuck alone? I don't know. And I don't care to know. If you would have just... See, we live in this time where content creators... And I haven't seen the rest of this video, so I'm not going to like make a bunch of assumptions, but I'm speaking in general. A lot of content creators just try to make it seem like they're a good person, but they're not real. They're disingenuous. Why not just say what's on your mind? People will feel some type of way, but they'll respect it, and eventually they'll move on, and they'll be like, damn, okay, he doesn't want to be bothered. There you go.
He was going to do what he wanted regardless of how much it would hurt the people he claimed to love and care for. A couple common misunderstandings taken from this video were that I never communicated with Cory about his breaks and the harassment I was facing, and instead posted it on the internet, when in reality, I spoke about it with him multiple times throughout the years, even expressing it in YouTube videos.
So you're dropping a 40-minute video because he didn't tell people where he was going and that he was going to take a break. So people came in your comments and they bugged you about it. So now he's the main villain in your plot. That what? What, bro? What are we talking about?
Which are all up on my channel. The public wanted to run with the narrative that Cory was the one who cut off the connection with me, when in fact, I was the one that cut ties with him because I had had enough. I was the one who decided that the friendship no longer...
Even though witnessing the same family and friends actually using you, I still remain there for you to vent your frustrations and to share laughs with. I'm sorry, but I just can't continue feeling like you're keeping me at arm's length. I'd rather have mental peace than to constantly... Bro, I can't continue feeling like you're keeping me at arm's length. He already distanced himself from you. So how was that a lie? Hold on, run that back.
Public wanted to run with the narrative that Cory was the one who cut off the connection with me, when in fact, I was the one that cut ties with him because I had had enough. I was the one who...
No, you didn't. You just admitted in the text message, I just can't continue feeling like you're keeping me at arm's length. When he doesn't want to be around you. You just came out and sent him a whole yap sandwich, and we didn't even get to see his response to that. You weren't the one that ended it. I need to see the response, bro. What?
Decided that the friendship no longer served my best interests, and I distanced myself with him for good instead of allowing
bro, he just ghosted you. You just sent him a formal message about it.
Myself to remain at arm's reach. I had also mentioned in the video, which was set to private only a few days after it was posted, due to it reaching nearly an overwhelming 700,000 views, that I held frustrations towards him for taking parts of my creative ideas in my videos, which I felt he was using to help further establish and push his own personal brand. This issue was brought up to Cory during one of our last few times speaking on the phone, which he admitted to doing and apologized for. I wasn't the only person who not only fell victim to the ravenous fan base that CoryxKenshin had accumulated, but also, from my view, the neglectful and unempathetic person that Cory is behind the scenes.
Bro, you... What? What? You're trying to expose him for some shit that he also deals with. Do you remember the video where Cory was getting his hair done and he looked down for half a second and they said that he was looking at that woman's cheek? He literally deals with the same shit that you're talking about. So how are you going to get mad at him because he became successful and his fans are diehard? What? What are we talking about? That's why he stays away from the internet the way he does. This is a straight nothing burger right now.
Cory's brother, Certified AK, posted a YouTube video back in 2020 titled The Truth, where he expressed his sadness and disappointment and lack of motivation to enjoy creating YouTube videos due to an invasion of comments asking for Cory's whereabouts.
I texted my brother probably like 2 weeks ago, and I showed him all the comments, all the spams I was getting on my channel, and then I'm just put in the video of what he said, guys. And
Cory, man, I'm sick of these freaking comments about you. You mind if I make a video on why you've been gone for so long? I just want these kind of comments to stop. Nah, I'll speak on why I've been gone. If you don't like those comments, you need to tell your community that. But I told you that what's gonna happen. It happened to Brandon. It happened to Mav, and it's especially gonna happen to you. What was wrong with what he said? That's actually facts. You're CoryxKenshin's brother, so people are gonna come to you if Cory has been gone. I didn't know when you were gonna upload or if you were done altogether. That's why I asked, but okay, I'm gonna let them know.
Honestly, I already knew he was about to say that. I already knew. I just texted him and told him just to see if he was aware.
Why not make a video and just say, I don't give a fuck? Like, literally. Why not just do that?
I already knew he was going to say. That's my brother. I've known him all my life, 16 years. I've known exactly what he was going to say.
The reason I've brought up this video in particular is that in the first few minutes, Certified AK discusses Cory's hiatus and proceeds to mention how he texts Cory asking for help, and Cory told him that it's not his responsibility to address Certified AK's community, which I personally believe mostly came from Cory, and that it happened to Mav, and it's especially gonna happen to you. Knowing that I was one of the closest people to Cory while dealing with the same harassment as another helped validate all of the anguish I had endured. However, I find it disgusting that this behavior and harassment had to happen to a minor at the time. My wife, Lady Plague, who previously went by Rolam, was also subjected to numerous forms of harassment, such as degrading her character and career, and even receiving death threats for simply speaking out in support of my experiences. I was frustrated that others were being just as affected as me, and in hindsight, it would have been easier.
I'm not gonna lie, this is some victim Olympic shit. It's about this video is titled The Hidden Life of CoryxKenshin. This is some victim bullshit, bro. Not, bro, you notice how it's me, I. His brother said this, which only makes me feel better about my situation, my wife, and blah, blah, blah. Bro, you not once ever gave a fuck about what Cory got going on. Let's just keep it a buck.
To stop collaborating and cut ties with Cory earlier on, but when you believe things with your best friend are good, and you're working side by side together, it's hard to see the bigger picture and easier to tolerate the harassment. Once the internet was done reacting to
they're just asking you, where is Cory? They're not even, what?
Video in 2023, I thought that was the end of it. Regarding the recent assertion that came out from an ex-girlfriend of Cory's, I would like to first start off by saying I'm extremely saddened and hurt to hear that there are not only friends and family, but romantic relationships which were also impacted by Cory's selfish behavior. Recently, Panda Ninja, who was an ex-girlfriend of Cory's,
she literally, what? Okay, he was a bad boyfriend. All right. Does that really mean he deserves to be canceled, bro? And then she tried to frame it she didn't frame it. People, let me take a step back. People misinterpreted what she said, right? And they tried to make it seem as if Cory SA'd her when that wasn't the case. And they cleared that shit up immediately. And she came out and withdrew her statements. So what are we talking about, bro? You're not a friend.
Out about her time being with him on and off through the years from 2016 onward, providing videos, screenshots of text message conversations.
She came out and said that shit was fake, gang.
And her perspective of their time together. I met Panda in August of 2017, where myself, Panda, and Cory all spent time in person. Not only did I meet Panda, but I got to see her and Cory's chemistry around each other. Based on my own personal conversations with Cory and my time around both him and Panda, I believe her account and confirm that the messages align with what I witnessed. I can confirm that the screenshots she provided when telling her story are in fact true, and Cory's behavior and language seen in the text messages.
Okay, bro, he wanted to spin back and fuck. Okay. Like, what do we... Huh?
Are in fact real.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, when you really... This really is some eye-opening shit, because there's really... a price to pay when you become successful, and the people who you would think are your closest friends, the people who you would consider your lover, people you would even consider your family, will turn on you in the public eye, bro. That shit is really crazy. Am I saying that Cory was 100% right in this situation? Absolutely not. But the way that this video is going, there's deadass no reason to be making a 40-minute video about this shit. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Unless it gets really juicy, this has been a nothing burger so far.
only are they real messages, but what wasn't publicly shown in the text thread mentions my name as one of the people who Cory informed of his and Panda's relationship at the time. Once Panda's story blew up online, she faced multiple forms of harassment such as doxing and even received death threats for simply expressing her truth. Her story wasn't what many people claim to be a nothing burger, making videos disingenuously presenting Panda's story, showcasing a lack of care for a very serious circumstance. In Panda speaking out, she said,
people broke the story in like 12 hours. What are we talking about?
Forth the openness and strength for others with similar stories to step out of the shadows. Shortly after Panda's story circulated, another woman reached out to Panda with more proof of Cory's terrible behavior with women, disregarding personal boundaries, and even going so far as to have close friends keep tabs on what these women were saying and doing on their social media accounts. In 2015...
Yeah, because bro, you literally went and confided in a random woman and she blasted that shit on a forum. If I was Cory, I would definitely want to see what the people around me are saying about me on the internet or what information they're feeding to other people. I'm not trying to make it seem like, oh, Cory is just perfect in this situation, but bro, come on.
I received a YouTube DM from a woman who was close friends with Cory at the time, asking for clarification about their friendship, wondering if there was more of a romantic interest by the way he would speak to her. I couldn't provide any clarity though, and I didn't think much of it at the time. A few years ago, she replied to a YouTube comment on her channel, updating someone about her and Cory's friendship, and stated that they weren't friends anymore due to him believing what a fan said about me and yelled at me for being a terrible person. Another person who I believe is a victim in all of this, who, out of respect for her privacy, I won't mention by name, is a woman I met early on in Cory and I's friendship, who happened to be a long-time on and off high school girlfriend of Cory's. In between all of his questionable relationships with women, it seemed to me there was always someone he could fall back on. I recall one situation where Cory had a random woman come out to his house, when his girlfriend came over unannounced and awkwardly found Cory and the woman in his bedroom. This is just a subtle glimpse into how Cory treats his relationship with women. In my view, Cory often disregarded the emotions and boundaries of people around him, especially women, treating relationships casually and selfishly. I felt the need to write a statement to help further validate the victim's experiences, and in my experience...
Okay, bro, he cheated. Shit, it's an evil world we live in.
It's an evil world we live in.
I'm not gonna lie, that shit happens to everybody. Whether you're a man or a woman, bro. Is that right? No, but you act like, bro, he's just trying to, like, I don't know, bro.
This was psychological manipulation and emotional abuse. It's been difficult to reconcile the public image you've built, one centered around faith, morality, and Christian values, with the private behavior I and others...
Oh my God, so you throw this, bro. You know what's crazy? A girl could be a bop, right? No red pill shit, real shit. A girl could be a bop. She could suck up 3,000 glizzies, right? Let her whole zip code crack, become a Christian, and all of a sudden, or whatever religion, all of a sudden it don't even matter. Or people nowadays, they curse, they have sex out of wedlock, they don't even follow none of the commandments or none of the principles of their religion. Nobody judges them. What the fuck are you talking about? Okay, bro, that's the point of religion. You're not gonna be perfect. You're going to sin. You're saying, okay, he's Christian, so he's supposed to be perfect. That's quite literally the point of being religious. You're going to fuck up. That's why you strive to follow God, right? Literally, is this a friend? You airing him all out. And then you said that you didn't want to be harassed by his fan base. You making this video is going to get the response that you want. 26K views in a day. That's crazy. And they already cooking them, bro.
Have personally witnessed over the years. In my experience and personal interactions, there's a deep disconnect between the public persona you've cultivated and the conduct I observed in private settings. Utilizing a family-safe brand image to attract children and people who may not know any better.
You're trying to imply that he's a fucking PDF file? Yo. This guy's weird.
Is disgusting in my eyes. I believe all you care...
He posts gaming videos. Nobody knows about his fucking life. There's a detachment to CoryxKenshin is an internet personality. Whatever Cory's real name is him in person. What? Huh? But if he start blasting all the shit you ever did, you would feel some type of way about it. The fuck?
About is yourself and protecting your brand image. I don't believe you care about your audience, and I sure don't believe you care about your friends or your family.
You can care about your audience, but not want everybody in your fucking business. That's how it is with most content creators. They fuck with their fan base, they fuck with their supporters, but they don't want them in their damn business all the time. They don't want to open up and tell them every little detail. Is this not crazy? You want him to be a open book and everybody knows every little detail about him with no fucking privacy. When in reality, Cory, the reason why Cory's so respected is that he dips in and out the internet as he pleases. Cory will be around for a month, he'll go crazy with uploads, and then what will happen? He'll be gone for another 6. How are you gonna get mad at bro for wanting privacy in his life? Whoa, this is like the most bitter, most spiteful video I think I've ever seen in my life. This guy is a lame.
This isn't about trying to dirty Cory's name, because I believe he's done that himself.
You literally dirtying his name. No, he didn't. Everybody came to his defense. His name was never dirty.
Anyone who has ever seen
you came out and you're trying to validate a story from somebody who everybody bro, you're trying to validate a story from somebody that the internet cumulatively came together to listen to what she said. We found out it was a nothing burger, and even from herself she said that it wasn't real. So what are you talking about?
Past his facade. This video isn't about clout or trying to build.
She literally said that those Xbox messages were fake, if I'm remembering it correctly. So what are we talking about?
Gain anything from his name or platform. There was a point in time where about clout or trying to build at himself to anyone who has ever seen past his facade. This video isn't about clout or trying.
Bro, it literally, let's go to his channel. I guarantee you this is going to be the number 1 out of 10 video on his YouTube channel. Ha! You haven't uploaded you had a video with 5.6 thousand in 2 years. 2.4 in 2. 4.4 in 2. This video did better than the last video that you did in years. The last video where you mentioned Cory got over 500,000, and no other video has even been close to touching that. The way that it looks like to me, the only reason why you were really getting views for real, your whole identity was being Cory's friend. You didn't want that to be your identity, so you thought you could branch away from him and do your own thing, and you realized that your audience was really Cory's audience and nobody really gave a fuck about you, which is why you stopped posting in the first place. So now you're coming out and you're bashing him and you're trying to make it seem like, oh, he's this horrible person. But bro, this is your most lit video in 2 years. What are we talking about? This shit is strictly for clout.
Trying to build or gain anything from his name or platform. There was a point in time where I truly thought Cory was a good person, but as time has gone on and more people have received personal traumas due to his actions,
I'm not gonna lie, this shit would have went triple platinum in 2020. Everybody would have been eating this shit up. In 2025? Come on, bro.
I felt I needed to speak. Mental and emotional abuse are very much a real thing.
I feel like I should have, bro. You're making it sound like he's P. Diddy. Like he's just been running shit. What are you talking about?
His actions, I felt I needed to speak. Mental and emotional abuse are very much a real thing that is typically not taken seriously by society at large, especially when it comes from a woman's voice. Just because someone isn't physically abused doesn't mean we can.
No. That's because we knew that the story was bullshit. He was a bad person. Do you realize that she fixated on him years after their relationship, even while she had a fiance? She had a fiance and was still fixated on Cory.
To take the victims' voices lightly. What I have personally witnessed and gone through, and what others have shared, all mirror emotional abuse to me. The last text Cory sent me mentioned that he was hopeful to change and repair things with his mother.
The fuck this got to do with you? Wow, you literally just, wow, you ain't shit, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck. You trying to make it seem like you a good person? Who are you to air somebody's personal relationship with their mom? You blasted that shit on the internet that he sent you in fucking confidants. Wow, you just this good person, right? You just as bad. If you the way that you trying to frame Cory, you are worse than him. This sounds like manipulation. What? I realized I never forgave you for it. I thought I did by continuing a dialogue with you. See, look, I never forgave you for it. So he had problems with you too. The shoe was on the other foot, my boy. I truly did not. Forgiveness is not continuously treating someone like they wronged you. You inadvertently taught me that moving forward in this life will take it as a lesson. I went through a lot of shit with my mom, and I kindly do tell the same to her. I felt like I never really answered for her actions against the family, but holding on to the anger, the same anger I was holding against you, has only deteriorated those relationships. I still need to work on myself. He admitted that he had flaws. Some shit that you didn't admit. We all do. You were my best friend at one point in life, and I will cherish those times forever. I will always have your back. Never badmouthed you to anyone. Loved you like a real brother and will continue to see what you... Bro, how you trying to make it seem like he a bad person. He sounds like an accountable person.
Because the same anger he had towards me, he held against her, and maybe their relationship wouldn't have to decay the same way ours did. Not only do I believe that you haven't changed, but from...
You a bitch. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it a buck. You a soft ass bitch. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Hey, I'm not trying to be... I don't want to be that way, but the fact that you would blast somebody's personal relationship with their mother, that he sent to you as his best friend, and you just aired that shit out on the internet, you a goofball. I'm not gonna lie. This video is gonna do the exact opposite of what you think. You are messy as fuck, bro.
My perspective, you
The
continue
moment that his relationship with Cory stopped serving him, look at this shit.
to misuse the influence you've been given, taking advantage of situations and people when it suits you. In my experience...
Oh, really? That's ironic, buddy.
Your behavior has followed a deeply harmful pattern that echoes emotional and psychological manipulation, all the while being enabled by the one so dedicated to keeping your name
You just manipulated that text message.
in a good light. You've given millions the false impression that you're a man of God and that you're a beacon of light, and from my perspective, the culture surrounding your platform mirrors the harm I believe you've caused behind the scenes, reflecting a pattern of disregard towards women, close friends, and those who once trusted you, including myself. Cory's fanbase has at times engaged in patterns of misogynistic harassment.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Buzzwords, holy shit.
Particularly towards women and those who speak critically or share personal experiences. While creators can't control every follower, the absence of public acknowledgement from Cory...
What the hell was misogynistic about people defending a man who was wrongfully accused of some shit that he didn't do? And then when they asked the woman about the story, she took all that shit back. What are we talking about?
has contributed to a climate where this behavior is often left unchecked. In my experience, this is a massive parasocial problem, and Cory's fanbase is
Okay, I can admit Cory's fanbase is extremely parasocial to a fault. But he's making it seem like Cory is just unaffected by this, and he's the only person. Everyone around him is affected by it, while Cory is not. There's a reason why he doesn't spend his time on the internet, bro. That shit also affects him too.
Huge example of the lengths people will go
It's
to
about
defend
CoryxKenshin.
someone they know absolutely nothing about. I also do not fault Panda for reacting the way she did after her experience was shared. People who are on the outside looking in will never truly understand the attention and scrutiny you'll face when dealing with a
Bro,
massive...
We've all been through heartbreak, bro. We've all dealt with bad people that weren't good for us, bro. That's called a canon event, bro.
Slice of the internet, especially when speaking your truth about a large figure in that space, and how easy it is to spiral, causing one to potentially change information on their account, hide content, or even deactivate altogether. You can't know how to handle or manage when you're going through that constant pressure, especially if you've never experienced anything like that, which most of you have not. I followed a similar pattern as Panda with my 2023 video, not knowing how to handle all of the voices and opinions from the public at large.
Bro, he said he was done with you.
Isolated, alone, and lost. Something that big can cause you to not think and just act due to the shock of circumstance and how much of an impact your words may have. Large platforms should be utilized to help the world, not be kept quiet and in the shadows only when it's convenient for the person running them to benefit from it. I want to address one last thing about my video.
Bro, what the fuck are you talking about, gang? What the fuck are you talking about? Deadass. Nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about.
From 2023. A lot of people tried to push the narrative.
We don't give a fuck about that shit. You're still dragging this shit? You had a friendship with Cory. You deaded that shit. You made a video about it in 2023 and you bringing this shit up back in 2025. And anytime some shit happens, you're going to continue to bring that shit up.
That I was jealous of Cory's success, or that I was a clout
You are. You are.
chaser. From everything I've seen, that couldn't be further from the truth. Panda showed me a conversation she had with Cory. He was spending time with Dashi, a close friend and collaborator of his, and brought up how rich Dashi is, how he wasn't as rich, while also being
you're basically up there with him. What does he have different than what you have? She literally asked him the fucking question. What? Hold on.
of his, and she had with Cory. He was spending time seen. That couldn't be further from the truth. Panda showed me a conversation she had with Cory. He was spending time with Dashi, a close friend and collaborator of his, and brought up how rich Dashi is.
No, he didn't bring that shit up. She fucking asked him. What the fuck? This dude is schizo. Whoa, you act like we can't read. What does he have different than what you have? Movie called Skyscraper, and nah, if you came here, you know, dude's way richer. Was it good? LOL, you both are successful. That's something you should be proud of. Facts. He agreed with that. And yeah, it was it was decent. Come on, like he still admitted that they're both successful. What narrative are you trying to frame, bro? This is crazy.
How he wasn't as rich, while also being annoyed that Panda admired Dashi. To me, that
oh shit, you're with Dashi, LOL. Tell him you said hello. Yeah, your true fave. He's being sarcastic. He's clearly joking. If you know Cory, he does sarcasm all the fucking time. What are you talking about? LOL, LMAO, she even acknowledged it. LMAO, Cory, you know you're my fave. Don't get jelly. And he said, and then she plays into it. You're jelly. Ooh, please. Dashi yells too much. JK, JK.
was revealing. It suggested that instead of being confident in the friendship,
No, the fuck it didn't. No, he was joking. He was deadass joking, bro.
compared himself to someone close to him and turned it into a point of tension.
No, he didn't. Why is he taking everything he's saying so serious? Yo!
Dashi for two reasons. First, because I've personally met and hung around him on multiple occasions.
Bro, Cory and Dashi are still cool to this day. You trust me. What you're gonna say, I'm like, let's just continue.
Second, because if I were close to someone who carried feelings of inadequacy into their friendships, I'd want to know. From my perspective,
that's literally you. You're projecting. You literally dropped the video exposing your friend and aired out his personal information for 26,000 views in a day. What are you talking about?
Cory sometimes leveraged his relationship with Dashi in ways that felt unhealthy. It wasn't just casual name dropping. It came across like he was using it to provoke Panda, to test her, even to create arguments. The effect was that even something as simple as a birthday wish could turn into a conflict. In my view, that shows a pattern of emotional manipulation, not for connection, but for control. That's why I believe it's important to talk about. Because
Controlling what?
when you see someone consistently using situations or people to create distance instead of closeness, that's not just insecurity, it can be damaging to the people around them. I was never jealous of Cory's success. Jealousy isn't telling Cory's community off while still wanting to work with and enjoy my time with him because he was my best friend, even though I hated the toxicity of his community. I believe wanting to see the fruits of my hard work and labor day after day is not being jealous.
Yo, I get it. He just admitted it right there. Boom. We don't even need to watch the rest of this. We 14 minutes in. You just admitted it, gang. You trying to frame it as if you didn't. You just said what you just literally said it. He's mad that he was with Cory. He was grinding with Cory. Everybody gave a fuck about Cory. He was a side character in Cory's story. And even though he grinded on YouTube and he felt like he worked hard and he did what he had to do, he never got on. And Cory is up crazy. He sees all of Cory's fault. This is what happens, bro, when you outgrow your friends. All of a sudden, Cory's in a completely different tax bracket. He's one of the GOATs of YouTube. He has millions of more subscribers. He was in the same environment as his friend though, but he lapped them so many times over. Jealousy and envy, bro. And now you trying to jump on the first opportunity, well, the second opportunity you can to make Cory look bad. Gang, I'm not going for that shit. You can try to use buzzwords like misogyny and manipulation and all that shit, all those little leftist buzzwords that's gonna, pull on the heartstrings and make it seem like Cory's this guy. Bro, I'm telling you, nobody is going for that shit. You brought up a situation that was already closed. What are we talking about?
Never jealous of Cory. I'm taking this time to take accountability for not standing up for women because in the past, I was ignorant to them seeking help regarding Cory. Moving forward, I'm no longer letting those voices remain silent. I want to make it very clear.
Oh my God, he's masking his insecurity behind protecting women. Wow, bro. Wow.
That this statement is not an attempt to slam.
Bro, this situation, I could understand if it was like a legitimate situation, but it literally took less than 24 hours to disprove all of her claims. So what are we talking about? You notice how Cory didn't speak on it? Because he didn't need to. Because it wasn't legitimate.
Defame, or cause harm to Cory. This is a statement rooted in my own experience, observations, and in support of those who've been affected, which is being shared in good faith and for the purpose of transparency, incitement of dialogue, and accountability. I felt manipulated by Cory's actions and emotionally harmed by how he treated me and others, and I believe that
Bro, you act like you were his girlfriend or something. You a grown-ass man. You are a grown-ass man. You're not getting no sympathy points, gang. You're grown as fuck. You're a man. What the fuck?
Public apology and acknowledgement is not only justified, but very necessary for healing. Apology and acknowledgement is not only just and others and manipulated by Cory's actions and emotionally harmed by how he treated me and others, and I believe that a public apology and acknowledgement is not only justified, but very necessary.
Gang, you're not getting no fucking apology. You also, bro, he didn't want to associate with you because you were doing shit as well. Why don't you fucking take accountability for what you did? You act like you were just all perfect and Cory just wronged you. There's a reason why he distanced himself from you. There's a reason why he carried some type of animosity towards you. Because you did some shit that rubbed him the wrong way, and we can see it in this fucking video. You can try to word it, read your little script. Read your little script and try to word it in a beautiful way. Do that shit, and I'm telling you, I still see through that shit. That shit is not gonna work.
For healing. Thank you so much for hearing my voice. And now, standing side by side with me, here is Panda Ninja, who has a few things to say. Panda, I want to thank you so much for your courage and you speaking out and presenting everything in your story. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mav. I'm Panda, also known as Panda Ninja, the one you mocked, misquoted, and tried to bury under your projections. Guess what? I'm still here. Surprised to see us in the same video? Yeah, we figured. Instead of letting strangers rewrite...
You're literally reading a script. You're reading a script. Everything that y'all had to say, y'all had to sit there, think it through. This is how you know it's not authentic. You had to sit there, think it through, word it out in the proper way so that it could flow and y'all could make him seem like something he's not. You already had your opportunity to talk about everything. You came out and already said those Xbox fucking screenshots were fake. You were already on a TikTok live with what's his name, Alpha X Alpha, and we got to the bottom of the situation. What are you talking about?
The story, we're saying it ourselves, direct and unfiltered. Awkward, isn't it? You weren't ready for this. This isn't about canceling him. It's about accountability. Canceling erases people. Accountability forces them to face what they've done. If that feels like canceling, that's because nobody's people. You weren't ready for this. This isn't about canceling him. It's about accountability. Canceling erases people. Accountability forces them to face what they've done. If
you're comparing Cory to a racist. Yeah. Honey, you're still talking about Cory and you're engaged. I'm not gonna lie, Cory left the imprint on her. She's gonna be 40, 50, 60, and she's still gonna be talking about this shit. Literally.
that feels like canceling, that's because it erases people. Accountability for this. This isn't about canceling.
I heard racist. My fault. Is she from New York?
Direct and unfiltered. Awkward, isn't it? You weren't ready for this. This isn't about canceling him. It's about accountability. Canceling erases people. Accountability forces them to face what they've done. If that feels like canceling, that's because nobody's ever held him accountable before. Here's the truth. He didn't need to put his hands on me to leave scars. He punished with silence. He messed with my head. Gaslit.
You are grown. You were grown as fuck back then too. It's been like how many years? You could have just left him and blocked him. You were in a bad relationship. Oh my God, he was a bad boyfriend. Was that wrong? Yes, that was wrong. But bro, that shit happened so fucking long ago, bro. Oh my God, everybody been through some shit like this. He's a bad boyfriend. Okay, wow.
Love bomb, disappeared, then spun the story to make me look unstable. That was control.
No, he spun the story. He never What story did he spin? He never talked. He never addressed the situation. You came out, spoke, went on TikTok live, and then you came out and denied your own story. Am I crazy? He never responded to you. What story did he spin?
The way he treated me left me feeling mentally and emotionally abused. It wasn't just me. Others around him felt it too. Everybody swears they care about mental health until it's right in front of them. You can't claim to fight for it while weaponizing it against survivors. That's not support, and it's why so many shut up and suffer in
survivors. Y'all act like he's a murderer.
Silence. And no, I didn't post every detail. That doesn't mean it didn't happen. It means I was protecting myself from him and from the internet circus that never
shut like a burn victim. What the fuck?
The fuck up. Also, y'all ran with some essay shit I never even said. Not once, not hinted at all. But because reading is hard and critical thinking is extinct, you turn your own fake headline into a whole narrative. I said he didn't do that. I repeated it. The fact I had to say it over and over proves you weren't listening. You were twisting on purpose. Just because it wasn't essay doesn't mean it wasn't abuse. Doesn't mean it didn't damage me. If that still doesn't click, you're not confused. You're willfully ignorant. And I'm not here to babysit anybody through common sense. Nobody told y'all to run like dumbasses making up storylines and believing lies. I don't owe anyone any updates. Especially not people who only show up for the drama. You don't want truth, you want content. And because I don't post on your schedule, suddenly I'm hiding or lying. Bitch, please. It means I'm...
Why are you, if you're not lying, why are you writing an entire script? And you're reading it, and we can hear that you're reading it. Why not just be genuine?
I'm not desperate for attention like the rest of you.
Why do you need to frame what you're gonna say? The truth is the truth. The truth is always the truth. You don't need a script to say exactly what's on your mind. And I'm not gonna lie, this bitch is crazy. She wrote a literal 4-part series about this shit. You're crazy. You need to seek therapy. You need to seek therapy.
Same people calling me a clout chaser are literally the ones posting shit for attention. Y'all made hate videos, ran your mouths, and tried to go viral off me, but somehow I'm the fucking problem. As if the damage he caused wasn't enough, then came the fake accounts. Thread after thread of lies, posts with words I never...
Fakest screenshots I ever seen. Y'all really believe Cory would do that? Look at the way the size of the... These DMs are real, but the Cory part isn't true. I edited my actual... Wait, what? These DMs are real, but the Cory part isn't true. I edited over my actual ex who did bad things to me with Cory. Whilst I did date him, he was a sweetheart. He is an amazing human. I am sorry for the lies. Wait, run this back?
Tried to go viral off me, but somehow I'm the fucking problem. As if the damage he caused wasn't enough, then came the fake accounts. Thread after thread of lies, posts with words I never said, messages I never wrote. Some even claimed I edited conversations. Like, that makes sense. Y'all couldn't even tell the difference between Xbox and Discord, dude. Then you went and made a whole Xbox account, or maybe you just recycled the one you already had. Who even knows? Either way, the desperation was showing because nothing's...
Bro, come on, bro. That was a whole new Xbox account. I seen the TikTok.
We've got truth, like faking accounts and inventing posts. All that effort just to make someone innocent.
Why are you trying to retcon everything that you said? What?
Look bad just to protect a person you think matters more. Strangers who knew nothing were pretending to be credible witnesses. They didn't solve anything. They just put his toxic fan base on display. And the funniest part, you call me weird, But nothing's weirder than
you have a fiance and you're still talking about this shit. You're weird. And the dude that you're doing this video with is weirder than you, which is crazy. He's actually like, you were actually kind of chill when you were crazy as fuck when you were writing all them poems and shit. 10 years removed from the situation. But yeah, y'all are crazy.
Strangers spending hours creating lies about someone they don't even know. You two, tell me again, who's weird? And the worst part, he chose to sit back and let it happen. This is the man
What? Oh my God, you can't win with these people.
Calls himself a Christian. He allowed harassment to happen in his name. He stayed silent while others did the fighting for him, and he built a brand on values he never lived by. Christian on Sunday, manipulator every other day. Tell me, what's Christian?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I respect people who actually have fucking flaws. I'm gonna keep it a buck. You trying to throw this shit back in it? What point are you trying to say? Okay, he's Christian. He's not perfect. He's trying to be, okay, yeah, he portrays himself as somebody who's religious. That doesn't make you, what? What? He just has to be Jesus? No, that's not how that shit works.
About that fucking coward. And don't get it twisted. Bringing up his religion isn't crazy. He built that image himself, wore it like armor, used to sell himself as someone pure and untouchable. This isn't about belief. It's about behavior that never lined up with the values he claimed to represent. There's a difference. You don't have to believe me. Truth is, most of you never wanted to. You dragged me before I even had the chance to speak. And let's be real, nobody else came forward because they saw exactly how I was treated. They stayed quiet out of fear. And I can't blame them, really. When I went on lives to explain pushing through stress just to be heard, y'all ignored the words and clowned how I spoke. Like, that's what mattered. Let me spell it out for you since most of you clearly don't know me. Stress triggers medical conditions I live with. When my anxiety spikes, I stutter, always have, and I also deal with chemo brain, lasting side effect of cancer treatment that messes with memory and speech. That's why I chose to write. Even then, it wasn't enough. You guys complained, mocked me, you picked apart like my pain was entertainment, like I was nothing more than a sideshow for you to tear down. Some of you even said I was writing in poems. Let's be real. I write better than half of you stupid ass people anyway. Y'all just uneducated and just don't know how to do shit or read for that matter. I didn't do this for you. I did this for myself, for every person he damaged and tossed aside like they were nothing. You don't know me. You don't know who I've stood with, who I've buried pieces of myself for, or how deep the scars run from people like him. You don't even know the basics, my color, my food, my grind, my bloodline. Instead, some of you were ignorant enough to decide I must be white just because I'm light-skinned. Like somehow that would make it all less serious, like the damage wouldn't matter if you could erase my culture out of the story. That's racism. That's ignorance. And the funniest part, you were so wrong. I'm a minority. Asian and Spanish. You tried to strip me of who I am just to fit your weak ass narrative. And in
didn't say nothing.
Doing that, you proved exactly why stigma like this exists. You showed your prejudice out loud. Meanwhile, this coward parade.
When was this? When was this? Bro, he never issued a response to this.
Around and bragging about how he likes Latinas. Like that somehow excuses the way he treats them. That's who you defend. That's who you idolize. Some of you are way too comfortable running your mouths with no actual knowledge. Considering none of you were there. You don't know the full story. You don't know the people involved. But you swear you understand what I've been through? You've clearly never been doxxed, cyberbullied, and harassed while trying to process trauma in real time. Just to be told you're doing it wrong? People expected me to know how to explain something I was still trying to process while being watched.
It took you 10 years to still process that shit? Don't you think that's when you go to therapy?
Docs, cyberbully, interrogated, and judged.
Like she a fucking war veteran. She got PTSD or some shit.
Entire fucking time. I didn't owe y'all shit because who the fuck are you? Were you in the bed with me and him? Were you there when we were on our excursions? No, you weren't. I chose to speak for myself and for anyone else who's going through it or gone through it. Y'all already acting like rabid dogs off of vague sentences. You think I'm giving you more to chew on? Be for real. Gaslighting me at my weakest, they thought they could bully me into rewriting reality. But the truth was already written and it's not changing. And that 6-hour call some of you won't shut up about. Try getting one clean sentence out when your body's locked in fight or flight.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. She's blaming this on fight or you're in a call. What are you talking about? What? This some first world problem. You're not on the fucking front line of shit.
The truth was already written and it's not changing. And that 6-hour call some of you won't shut up about. Try getting one clean sentence out when your body's locked in fight or flight. When you're frozen, terrified to misspeak and fully aware every word is being dissected by people who already decided they fucking hate you. I've been used, lied to, walked on, and then somehow cast.
Dang. What? I'm pretty sure you can get your point across in a 6-hour call. What do you mean, fight or flight? Oh my god.
As the villain? So imagine
Holy fucking victim farming, bro.
clawing up the strength to finally speak while you're shaking, stressed, drowning, and the internet tears apart how you talk, how you type, how you look, how you breathe. Oh, she stuttered, must be lying. She paused, oh, she's faking. No, go fuck yourselves. And stop with the, it happened 7 years ago. Like, time erases scars. Like, time is supposed to clean it up, make it easier.
7 years and you just sat there to sit and cry like a victim. Like, you literally just sat there and, oh, I'm sad. Cory manipulated me. He fucked me. Like, you're just, bro, you sat there and you moped around for 7 years. You had a whole fucking fiance. And you still thought about Cory. That's bad. That's not healthy. You held a grudge for 7 years. Therapy.
To ignore. It doesn't matter how long ago it was.
Cuckoo.
Time doesn't hand you a clean slate. That's not growth. That's hiding until people forget. People change. People grow up. Cool. Then
People
explain
do.
the people he hurt more recently. What's the excuse now? I'm not here because what you saw on his channel. I'm here because of what he hid. You don't get it. So no. Y'all aren't entitled to your opinions about shit you know nothing about. And just so we're clear, he even said y'all need help. And no, that's not me defending him. It's just a fact because this level of parasocial delusion is insane. Parasocials are the disease of this whole community. You sit behind screens drooling over a man who doesn't even know you exist. You're parasites feeding off his image and spitting
No. The parasocial shit is real, though.
venom at anyone who tells a story you can't handle. You don't defend him because you know him. You defend him because you've built a fake version of him in your head. And the thought of that image breaking terrifies you. You're addicts. You're obsessed. You're sick. You'll scream his name till your throat burns and he still won't say yours once. He'll keep collecting your views, your money, blind loyalty while you eat each other alive in the comments. That's what being parasocial has made you. Fighting like bodyguards for a man who wouldn't even hold the damn door for you. And
That's literally just content creators in what? Like, I don't know. Yeah, what point are you trying to make by that? Like, okay, they watch CoryxKenshin. They support him. Okay, yes, parasocials. But every big content creator has parasocials. So what are we talking about?
another thing, what sense does it make to keep this hard for a grown ass man? He's not a toddler. He doesn't need you holding his
You're
hand
a grown ass woman.
just to speak. He's 32 years old and y'all clown me for being old when I'm barely 2.5 years older than him. Make it make sense. It's not
Oh,
just
you damn near 35? You said 7 years ago? Hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on. We gotta do the math. I'm gonna keep it a buck. This is I don't like this math. So you damn near 35. Minus 7. Bitch, you was 28 years old. Bitch, you was pushing 30. Bitch, you was pushing 30, getting your heart broken like it's fucking high school. And you held on to this grudge for 7 fucking years and you had a whole fiance. I don't feel bad. You were grown as fuck too. You were 28. You falling for shit as if you were fucking 16. Or in your early fucking 20s.
parasocial fans. It's the culture that's been rotting for years. The gaming community is still drowning in misogyny, and it shows in every comment section, every Twitch chat, every joke that gets a free
I'm not gonna lie, she's right about that.
pass because it came from the right face. Women aren't treated as equals. We're trophies, punching bags, or entertainment until we
Not gonna lie, she's right about that too.
stop smiling, and then we're the problem. And the sad truth, most of the male creators sitting at the top don't challenge it. They thrive in it. Misogynistic behavior in the gaming community isn't talked about enough, and when it is, it's dismissed as drama or overreacting. But I've seen it, I've lived it, and I've been on the receiving end of it. Besides the very few who are humble and genuinely good, the rest have built entire careers off this imbalance. They profit from it, play into it, and protect it because it keeps them untouchable. Their fan bases will excuse anything. Harassment, cruelty, manipulation, because tearing down their idol would mean admitting that they've been worshiping the wrong person all along. And Cory, he's not just a passive bystander in this. By enabling it, by staying silent when his influence could have...
What? You don't even know what the... What? You You don't even know what the fuck he got going on behind the scenes. What the fuck you talking about? Huh? You had an opportunity to clear the air for yourself. You did a horrible job. They picked you apart. 6 hours? You had a 6-hour call and you felt like you were in fight or flight, so you couldn't get your point across. And then you came out and you literally double backed on everything that you said, and it literally took less than 24 hours. Come on, gang.
Shifted the culture. He helped teach the entire generation that this behavior is normal.
No, the fuck he didn't. He plays games. He plays scary games. He's not a rapper. He's not an IRL streamer. He doesn't do Riz content. He plays games. Let's keep it a buck.
That is erases accountability, that if someone's popular enough, the rules don't apply. This is how toxicity...
I disagree. When you're more popular, it's more... The lights are brighter. It's more shit going down. What are you talking about?
Becomes
That's
the
reason why this video got views. It's because Corey's popular.
This is how cruelty turns into currency. And this is how young viewers, kids, grow up thinking empathy is weakness and accountability is betrayal. Because their role models told them so without ever having to say the words. To every male creator coasting off this
What the fuck? Okay, you're trying to, like, we're talking about manipulation. That is straight manipulation. That is not... No, that isn't... What?
System, your silence isn't neutral, it's compliance. Every time you look the other way, you're telling your audience that women's safety matters less than your brand. Every time you laugh it off, you're telling the next generation
he's not laughing shit off. He's protecting his peace because he's going through the same shit with his audience. What are we talking about? Y'all don't, bro. As much as y'all try to make it seem like y'all are the empathetic ones, y'all don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna lie.
Abuse is just part of the game. And when the day comes that it's you on the receiving end of the truth, you'll have no defense because you built a very culture that will tear you down. And while we're here, let's kill another rumor. No, I don't have an OnlyFans. And I'm not a sex worker. Never have. Not now. Not then. There are fake accounts out there pretending to be me, using my pictures, spinning lies, and y'all ran with it like idiots. Again, no.
I mean, you got thirst traps up of you tooting that ass up. You can easily goon bait that shit. Let's keep it a buck. You literally showed your TikTok profile picture. You're tooting that ass back.
I'm not a sex worker or an OF model, but the way you weirdos obsessed, maybe I should open one just so you can finally put your money where your mouth is. At least then your broke asses would actually be paying me instead of lying about me for free. I promise, in my perspective, Corey will be my first.
Nobody gives a fuck, bro. Nobody gives a fuck, bro. I'm not gonna lie. What? Nah, I need that is crazy. You don't need that, gang.
Subscriber though. Right next to all my haters and enemies, you'll be lined up paying me just to lurk. I've got nothing but respect for actual sex workers. They hustle, they grind, and they deal with the same harassment, shaming, and stigma I see y'all try to throw at me. The difference is they don't deserve it either. Women and men in that line of work put up with enough bullshit already, and they deserve protection, not judgment. What y'all do when you weaponize sex work as an insult is show how
what, bro, what, like, how did we get to this point? Oh my god. Skip that shit. What the fuck are you talking about? Nah, like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I finally filled in all the confusing gaps I had for years. And it didn't come from trolls. It came from people who actually know him like I do. I'm not here to convince strangers. I'm not asking.
Look how many cuts are in this video. This shit is so rehearsed. It's cut down. It's scripted. Is that really the truth? Can we keep it a buck? Is that really the truth?
Anyone to believe me, but if your whole argument
it's another video about CoryxKenshin, the same girl, and one of his old friends came out trying to expose him and shit.
Relies on someone who never liked me to begin with, someone who wasn't even present when any of this happened, you're not seeking truth. You're just desperate to hate. Everybody got enemies who will twist the story to make them look bad. That's not new.
Oh wow, really? I wonder who would do that.
What's new is how bold some of you got lying on my name like you know me. Talking about I'm a liar, I'm manipulative, I do people dirty. Bitch, you don't even know my middle name, but suddenly you're experts on my whole life? Fuck out of here. Yeah, I got so desperate to make me look dirty, you started believing your own life.
Stop recording every time. Like, why don't you just actually speak from the heart?
She's a liar. She's manipulative. She does people wrong. No, what I did was stop letting people like you.
Doesn't that sound like manipulation? Somebody making sure that they're always saying the right thing. There's constantly a jump cut. Everything is super polished and everything that you said was already mapped out and planned. Let's keep it a buck.
You use me. That's why you're mad. You can't stand the fact that I don't beg to sit at your little tables. I flip them over instead. You hate me because I don't need your validation. You just need someone to hate because your lives are empty. You scream liar, manipulative, dirty, so you don't have to face yourself.
No, you little bro. That's not why people are mad at you. People are mad at you because you're accusing, you're putting such big words and harsh shit on something that's not even that deep of an issue, bro. You fucked with him when he was 28. Y'all and he was 26. Y'all should not have been moving like that at your grown age. That ass. Y'all are millennials. Y'all are not Gen Z, bro. Like, what the fuck?
And the gag is, you're not mad that I supposedly lied. You're mad that I grew. You're mad that the girl you thought you could walk.
You didn't grow. You were stuck on a situation that happened 7 years ago. That's not growth.
All over turned into a woman who will stomp the fuck out of your lies. So to the people saying he ghosted me,
you said you couldn't even, huh? You're saying, bro, you see how the script writes some bullshit and you can see through the fucking script. You just said you were in fight. You just said you were in fight or flight from a 6-hour call. What are you talking about?
No, he didn't ghost me. He punished me with silence because he knew that was the
punished me with silence.
Best way to manipulate me when I was at my low.
You.
He punished me who will stomp the fuck out of your lies. So to the people saying he ghosted me, no, he didn't ghost me.
He did ghost you. You were the side chick and you didn't know it.
Punished me with silence because he knew that was the best way to manipulate me when I was at my lowest. He knew exactly how to twist my emotions and keep me hooked. But that girl, the broken one he thought he could control, she doesn't exist anymore. I took time for myself. I healed and I'm not her.
You're still talking about this situation. You didn't heal. You could, bro, you know what's crazy? You could sit here, you could write your whole script, you could edit this shit up. We see through the bullshit, gang. You didn't heal. If you healed, you would, like, what? Like, literally. Come on, bro.
Anymore. I never needed him for clout. I never used his name to build myself
we got Blizzy Boy in here. 41. But I digress.
I had the chance plenty of times, and I didn't
go.
Because not everyone is desperate to be famous. Some of us were just living our lives, creating content for fun, not to ride somebody else's wave. When Corey asked me what I wanted for my birthday, I told him I wanted to see him.
Dick. So now let me chill out. I'm sorry.
Of course. But I also said, Corey asked me what I wanted for my birthday. I told him I wanted to see him, of course. But I also said I love to meet Dashi. Instead of being happy to share that moment with me, he got angry. He yelled.
Yeah,
he
bitch,
hung
why the
up
fuck
on
you
me.
want to meet? Hold on, why the fuck you want to meet Dashi? Bitch, I'm Cory motherfucking Kenshin. The fuck you want to meet Dashi for? The fuck? You know that's my homie. Watch who you call your homie. Bro, there are some girls out here who would dead sneak behind your back and fuck your friend. Why you want to meet Dashi so bad? Like, why do you want to meet him? Is that not weird?
Disappeared for a while.
Babe, I want to meet Dashi. Bitch, I'm Cory Kenshin. The fuck?
And then later on, when he did come back, he kept bringing up Dashi on different occasions. Not in a neutral way, but in ways I knew were meant to get a reaction out of me. It felt like he was dangling Dashi's name.
Because you said you wanted to meet him.
In front of me, just to test me, just to start arguments. For me, that shows something deep.
No, he was trying to see if you were going. He wanted to see if you were overly going. He wanted to see if you wanted to get crushed. That's why, bro. What are you talking about? He's Cory.
He wasn't just upset about one conversation. He was taking someone I genuinely admired and twisting it into another way to punish me. To make me feel like I was wrong for...
You are a grown-ass... What do you mean punish you? You act like you're helpless. You're grown as fuck. You were 28. How do you get punished? What?
Asking for something so simple. Even my birthday wish. Something that should have...
You wanted to meet Dashi for your fucking birthday? I would have been mad as fuck too, because why the fuck you want to meet Dashi on your fucking birthday? What?
Been positive became another tool he could use for control. And in my perspective,
that shit is weird. Like, I could understand if you wanted to meet him on any other day, but you with somebody who got bread, right? He got bread. He could get you whatever you want, babe. I want to get a car, babe. I want to get some Lululemon, babe. I want to get a Miu Miu bag. And you want to meet Dashi on your fucking birthday. You could 365 days in the year, the one day out the year you want to meet Dashi. That shit is a red flag. Is that not weird? Chat, is that not fucking weird? Keep it a buck.
Emotional abuse. Another thing I need to...
How's that emotional abuse? She just like, bro, you take an inch, she goes with a mile, bro.
Point out is how Cory's tone toward me changed over the years. Three different eras.
Why you want to meet another man on your birthday?
There's 3 different versions of him, all depending on what suited him at the time. So in 2018, he tried pulling the same tired stunts, flowers, a teddy bear, and that stupid note like it was supposed to undo the mess he already made.
Nami, the way I feel about you is real. You are so wonderful, not to mention sexy. I miss you, and I hope this puts a big old smile on that pretty face, Cory. You do realize you could throw that shit in the garbage if you don't fuck with him, right? Obviously, he was trying to win you back. You were the side chick. The fuck?
That night, he even told me, I made a lot of mistakes in my life, but you weren't one of them. For years, that line and conversation replayed in my head, and I'd ask him if he really meant it. Every time, he'd say yes, and every time...
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm willing to guarantee you, if she went to therapy and said all of the shit that she was saying, bro, I can guarantee you she would get some type of, what is it called? What is that shit called, bro? She would get some type of, the fuck is that shit called? Diagnosis. There you go.
Time he'd follow it
I'm
with
having crazy deja vu right now.
Another excuse for why he acted the way he did. His words never matched his actions, and all it did was confuse me long enough for him to keep me around. When we were making plans, I suggested Florida so we could go do things together at Universal Studios and Disney. He instantly got mad, and I didn't understand why at first. I had only said I wanted us to have our first in places we hadn't been before together. I wasn't even thinking about Dashi living there. I wasn't into him. I even said that, but looking back, his tone made it obvious that was the reason he got irritated. Even when he was literally hanging out with Dashi, he'd bring him up in our conversations just to see how I'd react. I'd play it off.
He's trying to see that you're not a fucking eater. He's trying to see that you're not fucking going.
Jokingly or change the subject because what else could I do? But really, it was another way for him to test me to try to get a rise out of me. So later, he could flip it around and find a way to...
No, he's trying to see whether you, bro, if you entertain that shit too much, it's like, bro, like, why? Like, he's trying to see if you're cheating or not. Literally. He's trying to see if you're an eater, bro.
Blame me.
He's not
the
trying to
Dashi
get a rise out of you. You're getting a rise out of him.
Stuff was just one example of a bigger
Bob,
pattern. Cory constantly threw subliminals or little digs, not just about Dashi, but about other things too, because he wanted control over the narrative and how I responded. By then, he still texted me in ways that seemed flirtatious, but I was done by July 2018. I brushed it off because I was far past...
Wow, you were actually smart.
Wanting to rekindle a broken relationship. And the timing? I went Instagram official with my ex in late October 2018.
Oh my god! And you still talk to him? And you still talk to Cory while you had a fucking new boyfriend? Oh my god. Do you see how crazy that sounds? You're still talking to him while you were in a relationship with somebody else. What the helly? Nah, bald news. I told you I'm just taking a break.
So later, Cory goes on one of his famous breaks. I didn't even know about it until someone showed me recently. Coincidence? Maybe. But the timing is
suspicious. You're mad at, bro, what? Like, y'all just make it seem like Cory's life is just sunshines and rainbows, and the internet doesn't get to him either. And while he's just taking a break, he's not giving a fuck, and he's just fucking off, and he's not trying to, like, mentally reset from how stressful this shit is. Bro, he has tens of millions of subscribers. Do you know how hard you have to work? He edits his own videos. Like, he edits 6-hour plus playthroughs. Do you know how hard that shit is? That is not easy at all. That shit is hella difficult. Yo! What the fuck? Bald News sending a freaking whale diving. Thank you so much for that, bro. I really appreciate that, Bald News.
2019, he hits me up out of nowhere saying that he wanted to fuck up my life some more. He told me
he wanted to give you some dick.
Nut in my coochie.
That's what he meant.
had every reason to be my friend, but I had plenty of reasons not to be his. Then suddenly he's claiming that he loved me and that I didn't do anything wrong except for one thing. He brought up this kiss from years earlier. I had already explained to him many times that it wasn't intentional. I was on an acquaintance stream. His sister came over to kiss me on the cheek. I turned my head by mistake and it landed on the lips. We laughed it off because it was a funny accident. Corey was literally watching that stream live, but he never let it go, even though I explained it over and over.
Yeah, but okay, you kissed his sister. He wasn't happy about it. How was that? How was he in the wrong? Because you did some shit that he didn't like. Okay, it's an accident. You could be like, yo, it was an accident. I'm sorry. Move on. But that doesn't mean that he still can't feel some type of way about that.
I had to apologize for something that wasn't even real. And yet he's the one reaching out.
It still happened. What? So when you do some shit that he don't like, it's not real. You brush it off. You don't give a fuck about it. But the moment he does some shit that you don't like, it's World War III. You're a fucking victim. All this type of shit. What? Do you see how one-sided this is?
Me about it later, acting like some bitter ex who couldn't handle the fact he no longer had control over me.
And in the moment you came out, right, and you tried to break the story, and the internet broke down all of your lies, and there was closure, you spun the block again because you're trying to force this narrative, and you're mad he never responded because he never needed to, and he's not going to, bro.
2022, when the end situation came up, he shifted his tone again. Suddenly, I was to blame all over again. He told me, I recall having deep feelings for you. We had fun together. There were factors why we didn't work out. Then he threw out, you were hugged up on some dude on a Twitch stream, which never happened.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. Corey is hella toxic, though. But he just like us. He just like me. Come on, bro. He's toxic, okay.
My perspective, he must have confused me with one of the 1,000 other girls he stalked. So which one is it, Corey? In 2018, you're trying to act like the one who still cares. In 2019, you're bitter and aggressive. In 2022, you're rewriting history to make me the problem. To me, that's manipulation, and it proves you'll say whatever version of the story makes you look better, even if it means painting me as a villain in your script. And that ties directly into
that just makes him more relatable.
Another lie he spread. Corey told Mav that I cheated on him and went back to an ex. He made me look horrible in front of him, but here's the truth. Mav has seen every receipt. He knows the facts now. I never cheated on Corey. Not once, not at all. And here's the real timeline. We were together from December 2016 until February 5th, 2017. After that, we were both broken up for 6 months. 6 months. During that time, I was single and I dated 2 people briefly. One for 1 month, one for 2 months. That was my
you were getting cracked in between?
Because we weren't together. Then in mid-August 2017,
Corey and I 2 people in the span of 3 months. You dated 2 people in the span of 3 months. Come on.
Got back together. That's when I met Mav for the first time. And here's the kicker. Corey himself told me that Mav and some of his so-called friends were rooting for...
Hold on. So you went through an entire relationship before, and he said that he experienced your entire relationship. Something is not adding up here. Your timeline and his timeline is wrong.
So for those same friends to later claim that they didn't know who I was, straight fucking liars. And if Corey didn't actually want to be with me, from my perspective, he wouldn't have been taking pictures with me, filming videos with me, contacting me, walking around New York with me, where anyone who knew who he was could see us together. And let's be clear, it wasn't just once. There were so many breakups and makeups between us that by the time 2018 came around, I was already ready to move on. And you know what makes it worse? I had a gut feeling
and you didn't move on for 7 years.
For years that he did, but I couldn't confirm it. So I told people he didn't cheat on me until I saw the proof. And that shit pissed me off because now after all these years, I realized he could have given me an STD. He never told me he had multiple partners. He told me straight up that he was...
The realization hit. I told you. I said this in my literal last video breaking down this situation. I said she realized she was the side chick, bro. That's tough. It hurts. It hurts when you find out. It hurts when you find out you're the side chick. Oh, and her roommate said that she don't remember none of that shit. I remember that. Her roommate literally said she was crazy. I do remember that.
Wasn't seeing anyone else that he loved me. It was a facade.
Bro, she came out brought up all this situation, and then the allegations got closed in less than 24 hours, bro. Let's keep it a buck. He followed Bread or Buns. Oh my god. Yo. No, that's devious. That's actually devious, bro. What the hell? Hold on. Hold on. Bread
shit. And let me clear this up once and for all, since some of y'all love inventing pregnancies out of thin air. I was never pregnant by him, not by any man from that time, not now. I've only had one pregnancy in my life, and she is 17 years old. That's it. That's all you need to know. So where the fuck did y'all pull this nonsense from? Acting like I was out here throwing pussy around, and even if I was, which I wasn't, didn't we all agree slut shaming was tired? But here you are doing it anyways. Backwards as hell, proving
Wait, what? What? Huh? She got pregnant at 17.
like I was out here throwing pussy around, and even if I fucked did y'all, not by him, not by any man from that time, not now. I've only had one pregnancy in my life, and she is 17 years old. That's it. That's all you need to know. So where the fuck did y'all pull this nonsense from? Acting like I was out here throwing pussy around, and even if I was, which I wasn't, didn't we all agree slut shaming was tired? But here you are doing it anyways.
Nobody agreed that. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I respect and I love all women, right? Your body, your choice. But I'm gonna say this though, if the whole zip code cracked, I'm definitely gonna look at you like, what are you doing? What do you mean? Just like, you know what's funny though? Oh my God, he had multiple partners. He was throwing dick around. She said he could have got me an STD. He could have did this. He could have did that. The moment she talking about throwing pussy, oh my God, slut. I thought we're so tired of slut shaming. Yo, Perk, thank you for the follow. I'm so tired of slut shaming. It's so burnt. So when you throwing pussy, it's all water under the bridge. He throws dick. He's spreading STDs. He's Gucci third leg part 2. Come on, bro.
As hell, proving you don't even know what you stand for anymore. One minute you're all about women's empowerment, the next you're spreading lies about a woman's body and calling it truth. You guys are fucking clowns. And here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. From my perspective, Corey was with his high school girlfriend the entire time while he was with me, while he was with anyone else. So what's the excuse now? To me, he was cheating. And to the girl, I don't know what excuse you keep giving yourself to stay for 10 plus years with someone who disrespected you over and over again. Maybe
bread and clout. Bread and clout.
You're a victim too. Maybe you've got something over him. I don't know. But here's what I do know. Don't come checking me, check your man. Because from where I stand, he's a pathological liar who kept you a secret so he could play single and feed the obsession of weird bitches online and keep his double life intact. I had no idea you even existed, and that's the
okay, wow. How you gonna get mad at Corey for being Corey? What? If you got a name and you got bread, they're gonna come. They're gonna come every single time. What? That's all you need. You could be chopped as fuck. How you gonna get mad at him when the temptation is there and he fed into it? Come on.
Truth. You were hidden so he could keep doing.
If I had 16 million subscribers and I was rich as fuck and I had hella girls in my DMs, hella thick ass gamer girls, fat booty, looking good as fuck in my DMs, you think I'm not gonna what? Come on, bro.
Whatever he wanted, and let me tell you something.
And I'm not even, oh my God, you have no discipline, blah, 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 blah. Come on, bro. Someone's
secret isn't loyalty, it's humiliation. And let's be for real, this whole time it looked like you were his secret baby mama. Oops. There's a difference between privacy and secrecy. Privacy is about healthy boundaries. Secrecy is about hiding the truth for self-protection or to avoid accountability. One is respectful, the other is deceptive. And I've learned the hard way which one I was dealing with. I need to talk about the subliminals Corey threw in his videos. When he wanted me to feel special, he'd sneak in little hint stuff.
You started the dance and I was like, is he doing what I think he's doing? And died once you did it. You brought that shit up. You brought that shit up. That's now called the Nami dance. You talked about how you died laughing and how you liked the dance. So he named the dance after you. How was that crazy? What? That's not even deceptive. LMAO, so you did the dance on purpose? I had a feeling you might catch it. How was this this is a manipulating bad person? I'm not gonna lie. You not built for this. You might not be built for this date. You might need to stay single. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Only I would catch just to let me know he was thinking about me. That was his way of pulling.
Wait. Go back. I had a feeling you might catch it.
Stuff only I would catch just.
All right. So you did it on purpose and you said it again and he did a laugh emoji. Just say it. Of course I did. Aha, I knew it. Your little subliminals. Why though? Come on, bro.
To let me know he was thinking about me. That was his way of pulling strings without ever having to say it out loud. But in 2022, he flipped it in front of millions. He went on this whole rant about having a crazy ex. His exact words were, sometimes
you are crazy though. It was 2020. Wait, 2022 is when he was talking about the story?
You get in this weird situation. You're with somebody that's like, yo, I need you. And then you probably like, yo, I don't even want to really be with you anymore. Emotionally, you're checked out. Really, you only got one choice. Honesty is the best policy. And then if they persist, you get the law involved. Honesty is the best policy. Please shut the fuck up, Corey.
Oh, he got a restraining order on her?
You can close the gaps in your teeth, but you'll never close the gap between who you pretend to be and who you really are. And the law, that part killed me. I didn't stalk you, didn't harass you, I didn't bother you. I always said I didn't want to bother you. And you said I was never a bother. You had a chance to say I'd rather not associate myself with you or whatever, but instead you out here talking shit to everyone else about me, including your stupid ass subliminals, because you aren't man enough to tell me to my face like a gossiping ass, hating ass bitch. And let's not forget, you weren't even man enough to be there for your own kid's mother. That's not just embarrassing, that's pathetic. You left her to clean up your mess while you strutted around pretending you're bigger than life. That's your pattern. Always running, always dodging, always hiding. You can't face the truth, so you paint everyone else the problem.
Her making fun of his teeth was crazy. That was dead ass crazy.
But deep down, you're nothing but a narcissistic fraud.
Oh my god. See, that's when when I hear gaslighter, manipulator, narcissist, I know it's the same spiel. Dead ass.
That shit pissed me off because let's be real. Who the fuck does he think he is? Dropping subliminals, painting himself like he's the victim and making me or his high school girlfriend look like the problem? Me? The crazy ex? You must be on fucking drugs. And the timing, suspicious.
I'm not gonna lie, sweetheart. He wasn't lying. He wasn't lying. I'm not gonna lie.
Because
it's been 7 years since y'all were together. And you're talking about it in 2025. When you were 28 when this happened.
A week before, I had messaged him about N, this obsessive fan he has a weird association with. So put it together, I confront him about this fan, and right after that, he goes public with a rant about a crazy ex who supposedly won't leave him alone. The coincidence is too loud to ignore. He was planning a story before I could ever speak. And the only reason I even caught it now because his own internet detectives, the same fans who swear they're geniuses, couldn't shut up about it. They practically gift wrapped it this subliminal for me. Y'all think you're protecting him, but you really just exposed him. Behind closed doors though, he was still reaching out. He told Mav with a facepalm that I contacted him and he...
What's going on with you though? Man, nothing much, trying to get my affairs in order, getting texts from my ex, the usual stuff, lol. Nami was texting me this morning. It's like I want her to leave me alone, but I want her one more time. Bro, you were nothing but consistent pussy, bro. I want her one more time. That sounds like he wanna fuck. Other than that, helping with, like, you were just there when he wanted to crack, bro. That's why he said he wanted to ruin your life. Were you throwing him the pussy? That's what we need to know. I'm not gonna lie. Other than that, helping my family move out, my grandma out the hood in Detroit, just good, positive tidings over here.
He said to him, I wish she'd leave me alone but I want her one last time. That's some narcissistic shit. Plain and simple. In public, I'm the crazy ex he supposedly needs the law
The crazy ex got good pussy. Let's keep it a buck.
to protect himself from. In
The
private,
crazy ex
I'm
got
still
they got the best. They got that best coochie.
the person he wanted to keep around for his convenience. You can't have it both ways. You don't get to brainwash millions, then admit behind the scenes you still wanted me. That's not honesty, that's manipulation. And I'm done letting him script my story. You want to drop...
You scripted your entire story. You wrote everything that you said, and you did jump cuts in the video. This was all scripted. What are we talking about?
Subliminal's fine. I'll answer direct because this so-called crazy ex-girlfriend that you call me is actually the one telling the truth. And the truth is, Corey, the only crazy one here is you, bitch. Y'all see a damn public figure, I see a dirty-ass dude. He's still a regular person. And a shitty one at that. I always treated him like a regular person. And he still is. Even if y'all act fame and racist fuck behavior.
Nah, he is. This makes him regular.
Being known doesn't mean he's any different from a regular motherfucker who lies, cheats, and manipulates. He's not a nice person, period. Just because someone doesn't like how they looked in your story doesn't mean they can sue you for...
Big fucking whoop. Big fucking whoop. Oh my god. You want to cook? You want me to play? You want me to play you a song on the world's smallest violin? What?
Defamation requires a lie. I told the truth. And for the record, opinion,
Literally,
emotional...
she did all this for an apology and then doubled down when he didn't respond, bro.
...experience and calling out patterns of behavior, those are all protected speech. Especially when you're speaking about a public figure. If telling the truth makes someone uncomfortable, that's on them, not me. There's a clear difference between speaking out about your own experiences and crossing a line into targeted harm. What I shared came from my life. It was personal, real, and legally protected. And I saved this for last, since some of you thought it was okay to pick apart my cancer diagnosis. Fuck you. You don't get to question something you've never lived through. You don't get to dissect dates like you're solving a puzzle while I was fighting to stay alive. You weren't there. You didn't feel it. And unless you've gone through it yourself, you have no idea how much pain I was in.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. That cancer shit, though, real shit, all things aside, even though I don't agree with what she's saying, I will say this. I do feel sorry that she was in that predicament, bro, because that shit can destroy your entire body, bro. Real shit.
February 7th, 2020, I had triple negative breast cancer, stage 3A, one of the most aggressive types. So let me give you a fucking visual, since clearly some of you need one. A chemo port in my chest, look, scar right here. Over 10 surgeries, needles at home just to keep my red and white blood cells from bottoming out. Fever spiking to 104 for hours when those needles stopped working. Being hospitalized on a COVID floor, isolated, terrified, hoping I wouldn't have to fight 2 battles at once. Hair falling out in clumps in the shower, crying every time I touched it. Every time more of me disappeared down the drain. Doxorubicin, cyclophosphamide, paclitaxel, the chemo cocktails they pumped into me while my body shut down piece by piece. I couldn't walk on my own, couldn't bathe myself. My family had to carry me to the bathroom, feed me, clean me, and eventually put a portable toilet in my room because I couldn't even move. I threw up all day, every day, could barely keep food down. I was sweating through everything at night. I couldn't go in the sun because it burned my skin after treatment. And that's just the surface level shit, that the visual you asked for when you had the nerve to question my life like it was up for debate. So no, you don't get to pull apart my story and act like you know better. You don't get to weaponize my cancer against me just because you ran out of other shit to say. That's the man you call a king. That's the man you hype up. The same man someone's Make-A-Wish, from my perspective, was wasted on.
What the fuck? That had nothing... What?
This video felt like a lot, it's because it is. The information...
It was a nothing burger. That ass. This was a 40-minute yap session about fucking nothing, bro. And you're a horrible ass fucking friend. You're a horrible friend, bro. This video did not give what it needed to, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That shit is crazy. Let's look at the comments real quick. Grown-ass man making a whole video about another grown-ass man's life. Y'all stopped being friends years ago and you're still on his meat. Jealousy is crazy. So basically, because Corey cusses sometimes and goes through issues with his family like a normal person, bro is the devil. So bro is basically regular. I gotta be real. I feel like this video isn't the right thing to post about, especially this moment. I'll share my thoughts. I'm a fan of Corey as well, but this man waited until 2025 to do this. That's crazy, bro.